Welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Lost me trail of thought there. Yeah, welcome back to another beer review, and this is the final one from the Camden box that Camden very kindly sent me. Big thank you to Camden for that, much appreciated. Now, this is their Arch 55 series, so I think their beers are new ideas and twists on older ones, is the impression I'm getting. And the one we're looking at in this video is the strongest one as well. So I started out with the Unfiltered Hells, 4.6%, the Italian Pilsner, 5.1%, the Kaleido Hazy IPA, 5.4%, and this one is the strongest one, coming in at a 5.6%, and it is their Zing beer, and it is a lager. Now, I've read the back. It's in a 440ml can, 5.6%, like I said. Now, I've read the back, and I'm getting the impression this is going to be one of them craft lagers. And I've got to be honest, it's not a style or the sort of lager that I tend to like, because I find they end up being a little bit IPA-ish. And on the back it says the malts in this are Pilsner and Carapils. The yeast is lager yeast, but the hops are Centennial, Chinook, and one called Sultana, never heard of. So I'm expecting it to be along them lines of a lager, but with IPA hops, and I always think it needs to be either a lager or an IPA. But what I'm going to do is review this as the sort of beer I'm expecting it to be. That's all I can do, really. I can give my own thoughts whether I like it or not, but I'm kind of expecting it to be that kind of IPA sort of lager thing. So, snazzy old funky label on there. There we go. It's nice and chilled. It's going in that glass because my other Camden Town glasses that are lager ones are waiting to be washed. So I'm just going to use this one. So it's nice and chilled. Let's get it cracked open and see what we get. Like I say, nice gesture off Camden. Obviously they're out for a bit of publicity and what have you, but yeah, it was a nice little package box and what have you. And the beers have been very decent, to be fair. I've got nothing to knock about them. So I'm hoping this one might surprise me, but at the moment I'm a little bit pessimistic, shall we say. Just because I know these sort of lagers, they've got to be just right for me to like them. I think there's very few that I've really sort of thought, yeah, that's good. They've kept that hoppiness to a nice subtleness so it doesn't overtake sort of like the lager style. Anyway, beer in a glass, there we go. It's slightly hazy. There's a nice bit of carbonation going up. When you look in the light, it's very much sort of straw looking colour, but it looks a lot darker that side. But yeah, straw in the window, golden, shall we say, in that light. A finger, a nice compact fluffy head. Again, the body on this looks really nice, which is what I found with the Kaleidoscope one. When I was swirling it, it looked really good. So let's stop talking, let's dive in on the nose and see what we get. Okay, yeah. It smells like a lager. There's that sort of Pilsner feel on the nose. A little bit of a slight citrus note. Malty. Yeah, there is a nice malty note to it. And really, I can't really say I'm getting whacked in the face by something that reminds me more of an IPA. It does smell like a lager. So yeah, let's stop sniffing, dive in on the Arch 55 series Zing Lager, 5.6% from Camden. Cheers. Yeah, do you know what? They've certainly proved me wrong in this. It feels like a lager. It still tastes like a lager. Yes, you get a little tickle of them hops in there that are normally sort of IPA hops, but they've kept them subtle. They've kept them subtle. But let's go in and do my usual shit. .6%. It's a good body. Not as good as a hazy IPA body, I'm going to say. That was 5.4%, or even maybe the is probably on par with the Pilsner. The Italian Pilsner that was 5.1%, but the body is decent. Was I thinking it might be a little bit heavier, maybe a bit foolish really, because it's a lager, so it's going to have some kind of lightness to it because the style of the beer, but it has got some weight to it. Carbonation's there, and it's good carbonation. It's not overpowering, doesn't rip the palate apart as you drink it. I don't think it's going to be one that fills you up with gas. Get ready in about 5 minutes, I'll probably burp. A little bit rough on the mouth, but more from the carbonation being quite zingy rather than a bad body and being massively overcarbonated. On the taste, you get that hoppy bite, you get a sort of Pilsner feel to this beer. Big citrus notes, lemon, maybe a little bit of lime in there. I'm going to say lemon, Pilsner bite, hoppy, lemon on the start. Behind that is where a sort of lime feel sort of kicks in for me. And even now, it's still very sort of zesty, zingy, if you like. It definitely leaves you with that sort of feel to it. Pardon me. You do get that inkling of sort of IPA hops in there, but I wouldn't say you're massively hit with them. It'd be hard to go. If I didn't know this had them hops in, would I say it tastes like an IPA? I might say it has a little bit of a feel, so that would be how much they really show their face in this beer. It's got a bit of a, it feels a little bit sort of like a Mexican lager to a certain extent. Nice malty note in there. That I say, it does a little bit of breadiness coming in now there for me. A little bit of a bready or maybe biscuity note. But yeah, I mean, it depends on the beer you like. For me, I think they've definitely done the job, what they said they were going to do, and they've done it to the sort of standard that it keeps it a lager rather than going into IPA territory. So for that, big thumbs up. Feels a bit like a sort of Mexican sort of lager, I'm going to say. It's got that sort of feel to it. Nothing nasty in there. The 5.6% you don't get at all. A little bit stronger. Yeah, I don't really think you get that. Again, has that little English feel to it of an English lager, just subtly in the background. For the beer and what they've said they're going to do, I can't knock it. The actual quality of it is quite decent, but for me, I wouldn't put this down to my own personal taste because it just feels that little bit too citrusy and a little bit too zesty for my liking. I'm going to say off the top of my head, it reminds me of one that I've done from Verst Visek or however you say it, the brewery out of Berlin. They done a Pilsner and it was very sort of full on lemon and that. This one I don't think is quite up on that scale, but it's got that feel. But in all honesty, if them flavours are your sort of thing, you'll like it. I find it just a little bit overpowering, but once again, they've done a decent job of this beer. Maybe not fully to my taste, and that's all I can say really. So there you go. Like I say, part of the Arch 55 series. Go and grab yourself a box. I'm guessing they're doing this series in a box like what they sent me. 4 beers in there. Again, like I say, this one not down to my personal taste, but 4 very well brewed beers, it's got to be said. If you've had it before, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. Thank you all for watching. Sorry for waffling on so long. A big thank you once again to Camden, and I will see you again soon on another beer review. Cheers.